Yo, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing? What's good? What's good, everybody? How you guys doing? Let's do it. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? What's going on, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good? Yeah. What's good? What's good? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I see you guys in the comment section. Check in, check in, check in, check in. What's good? Check in. What it do, baby? Check in, check in. What it do? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Today we gonna have a good old time. Today I'm gonna let loose a little bit. I'm gonna let loose a little bit. Okay, let's do it. Say what's good to Marco. Marco is also in the building. Marco is here. We're gonna have a party today. Say what's good. Say what's up. We're gonna wait a few minutes and we're gonna have a party today. Trust me. Let's give it a few minutes. Let's allow some people to come in, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. We've been reading your messages. People asking us, when are you going live? When are you going live? When are you going live? Well, here we are. We are finally here. We are finally here. Don't worry, we're gonna get into all of it. Trust me. Today we're gonna finally let loose. We're gonna let loose. What's good? I see people are coming in. Jerome, how you doing? What do you do? Charlie, how you doing? Tyrone, I cried. Hey, man, I can feel you, man. I can feel you. It was pretty emotional. Don't worry. I'm going to get into it, too. Greatest game. Yeah, man, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Don't trust me. We're going to get into it in a little bit. Today, we have to change up the background, but don't worry. Tomorrow, we're going to go back to our usual spot. How y'all doing? Check in, check in. Trust me, trust me. We're going to have a ball today. Trust me. Let me just wait for some people to come on in here. We only been on here for about 2 minutes. Yeah, man. It's unbelievable. Even Skip Bayless. Y'all know I'm not on Twitter. I don't check Twitter. I mean, I'm on Twitter, but I don't check it. And even Skip Bayless was like, it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. So let's just give it like another minute or so. And we're going to get it going. Make sure you hit the likes. Get the likes up so people get notified. Get the likes up. And let's give it like a minute or so. Let's give it like 1 or 2 more minutes. And we'll get it going. We will get it going. We will get it going. I'm super hyped right now, man. I can't. You know what, guys? I'm in total disbelief. I'm in total disbelief, but I'm going to get into it. Let's just wait for everybody to come on in. Let's give it like another. Kato, I see you. Yes, I see you, Kato. Davis was good. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let's give it like another minute and a half. Let's give it like another minute. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the notifications out. You saw that we told you guys, we gave you guys like a half hour to really get ready. So hopefully that was enough time for some people to get on in here. So let's just wait a little bit longer. Let me pull up the box score. 1 second here while we wait. Let's give it like another minute. Some people be wondering, I just had lunch not too long ago, so depending on the time zone, y'all be catching when I just either had coffee or something. So let me just pull this up here. Give me a minute. Let's give it like another 30 seconds and we're going to get it going. Let's give it like another 30 seconds and we're going to get it going. Tyrone, I think I see your message. How do I join the Discord? Okay, I don't know if you're on Dreamerspro Max. For those of you guys that wanted to live chat with us, that didn't live chat with us, or that wanted to join the live chat, you can sign up to Dreamerspro Max. Marco has that. I think he pinned it to the top of the comment section there. So you guys can definitely sign up to Dreamerspro Max. So for those of you guys that wanted to live chat with us that didn't, yesterday Dreamerspro Max was lit, man. We were having a party in that third and fourth quarter. So we were having a party up in that thing. So if you're not a part of Dreamerspro Max, man, you're missing out. I'm not even gonna front. You fronting on yourself right now. You front really hard. You missing out. You missing out. You're missing out for real. So it's a shame if you're missing out on it. Let's give it 10 more seconds and we're gonna get started. 10 more seconds and that's it. Make sure you get the likes up and then we'll get it going. Let me make sure I got the box score up here so we're ready to go. I think I should have it right here. Okay. So let's get it going. 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 Okay. Candace was good. I see you, Candace was good. Okay. Where do I even begin? I guess I'll begin from the beginning. First of all, y'all got to stand up and clap for yourselves, man. Y'all got to stand up and clap for yourselves. Y'all got to stand up and, especially to the Clippers fans that have been supporting this team for a very long time. Y'all got to stand up and clap for yourselves, man, because what a game that was yesterday. What a game. Let me tell you guys something. I have never witnessed anything in probably the 20 years of me watching basketball than what I witnessed yesterday. I have not witnessed anything like that before. Given the circumstances, given everything that transpired, I have never seen anything like that ever before. I was absolutely stunned at what I was seeing. Like, for the people that were on Dreamerspro Max, they'll tell you, Candace and all of them, Deuce to Dawn, Cato, all of them that were on there, they'll tell you. I texted so many times during that game in that third quarter, and I kept on saying I could not believe what I was witnessing. I said I felt like it was like watching a miracle unfold in front of you. Seriously, I could not. Like what I was watching, and like I couldn't reconcile what my eyes were seeing. Like with my brain, I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Is this really happening?" On so many levels, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm sure for you guys that were watching it, that might have been for sure. That was the best game of the playoffs this year. But given the circumstances, given the fact that this team has had a 50-year drought, 50 years, we've been covering basketball for 2 years. I've been a Kobe fan for pretty much his entire career. Then I started following Kawhi, but I wasn't following the Clippers like that. And for them, mama, there goes that man. You damn right. And for this team to have gone through a 50-year drought, 5 decades of never even making a Western Conference Finals, and for us to be a part of it, witnessing it, and kind of just seeing the emotions from fans in the comment section, and I'm sure what a lot of people were feeling outside the game, outside Dreamerspro Max and in the world at large, who were watching the game. It was an honor to be a part of that. And let me tell you something. Last night's game made me a Clippers fan. I'm not even going to lie to you. I started off as a Kawhi Leonard fan. I support Kawhi. But how can you not support a team like this? And let me tell you guys, the number one reason I became a Clippers fan last night, and I'm going to tell you, even Marco will tell you. Marco's here. Marco will tell you. He told me this morning. I have never seen a team that has been this resilient. I've never seen anything like it before. Seriously. Did you see Kawhi in the locker room after the game? He wasn't on crutches. Oh, don't worry. I'm going to get to Kawhi. Who is this from? Gary Wade. Hey, Gary Wade, appreciate that. We're going to get to Kawhi. But I'll tell you the reason why. It's impossible not to root for a team that is resilient. It's impossible. I'll tell you why. Hey, appreciate that, Carl. I'll tell you why. Marco and I, for the people that have been on this channel for, let's say, the last, year and a half, I'll give you guys a quick backstory. I haven't even got into my notes yet. I'll give you guys a quick backstory. Marco and I started this channel about 2 years ago. Okay. Marco was living in Italy. I was living in Nigeria. and we were still producing content. Let me tell you something. A weaker person would have given up. Weaker people would have given up. I know this for sure. There's so many things that happened in the background last year. Most of y'all don't know. I was sick for the majority of last year. I was sick with malaria and typhoid for like a period of probably 7 straight months. 7 straight months. And we still got up almost every day, every week, and made content. Every week. Whether it was hot, whether if I just came from the doctor's office, whether if I had to go to the hospital, whatever it was, because we're the type of people, we don't give up. We don't give up, and we never stop believing in ourselves, period. This is when we didn't even have 5,000 subscribers, none of that. We trusted the process, we believed in ourselves, and we said, you know what? This is going to pay off later on, even if it's not paying off now. There was no signs of us. There was no signs to point to say, okay, keep going. There was nothing. There was nothing. But nevertheless, we were still relentless. We were still relentless. And here we are today. So to see a team that loses their best player in game 4, their best player, they were down 0-2 for 2 consecutive series. 2 consecutive series. The only team to come back from being down 0-2 in 2 consecutive series in the history of basketball. That has never happened before. Ever happened before. But it happened last night. And for me to witness that and to show the level of grit and stick-to-itiveness, this you could sum up the Clippers' run so far this season, and you could write a book about it on how to, number one, deal with issues, process issues, and how to never give up, and how that no matter what the odds are, if you believe in yourself and you have a strong mind, you can overcome almost anything. Because let's just be honest, the Clippers had no business winning this series the moment Kawhi Leonard went down. They had no business winning this series. Honest people will tell you they had no business winning this series. Most people picked them to lose before the series even started. This was with Kawhi Leonard. Most people picked them to win. Some people were out there talking about, oh, Karl Malone and all. I'm not even going to get into that. Most people picked them to lose. And they find themselves here. So let me get into this here. I got a lot I want to talk about. So going into that game yesterday, if you remember, we did a live yesterday on the channel. Going into that game, I picked the Clippers to win. If you guys remember, we just did a live just yesterday. I picked the Clippers. We picked the Clippers to win. And I said, I picked the Clippers to win that game for 2 reasons. The first reason was this, and some people were not paying enough attention to it. The first reason was this. I said, the Clippers have proven to me on more than one occasion that they are the mentally tougher team than the Utah Jazz. They've proven that to me. Some people maybe feel like, okay, that sounds very nice, like mental toughness. It sounds like a motivational speech. I get it. However, you can be the most talented, the most gifted person, whatever you want to call it. But if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe that you can overcome daunting circumstances, if you like, you can be the most talented person in the world. You'll never win. You'll never win. And the Clippers last night, exactly, John Jack. How can you not root for the team? And the Clippers last night, once again, proved it. So I said I felt like the Clippers were the mentally tougher team. That was the first thing I said. The second thing I said is Utah has not shown the ability to beat the Clippers in LA. You'll remember I said that. They have not proven that they could beat the Clippers in LA. Remember, they lost the first game by 24 points. The second game, they lost it by 14. So I didn't have any evidence to go off of to say, wait a minute. I feel confident that they can go into LA and beat this team. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I felt that way. And I said that I believe that that the Utah Jazz are front runners. This is what I said. Kawhi was at the game last night in the tunnel, standing unassisted, laughing, no cast, no crutches. He's coming. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think he's coming, but I'm going to get to that. Thanks for that, Yane. Thanks for that. So as I was saying, going into the game now, I was nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. I was nervous. You know why? Because I felt like the Jazz, we knew that Mike Conley was going to play. I felt like they were the more complete team. Well, obviously they were. The Clippers were without their best player. They were without their best player. So I said, okay, I was a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. But going into that game, I said two things needed to happen. Two. What are those two things? I said it yesterday. I said that the Clippers are going to need to make sure that they blitz Donovan Mitchell early and often. They cannot allow this guy to get hot. They can't allow this guy to get into a rhythm and start flowing, because Donovan Mitchell is good enough to beat you. That's what I said. And I said the Clippers need to come out and make shots early and often. And what did the Clippers do? This is why Skip Bayless called them the cardiac Clippers. We were even texting about it in Dreamerspro Max. I said that. What did I say? I said the Clippers will give you high blood pressure. I said when you watch a Clippers game, you gotta have like a first aid kit. I said you gotta have a first aid kit with you, because it's just like it's too emotionally draining to watch them play, because you go through so many emotional highs and lows during the game that it's just very stressful to watch them play. So the one thing that I was afraid that they shouldn't do is exactly what happened. They allowed Donovan Mitchell to get off to a hot start, and he scored 16 points in the first quarter. And I said to myself, man, I don't know what's going to happen tonight. Then on top of that, Paul George didn't get off to a hot start. And I said to myself, man, the very things I was afraid of, the very things I said the Clippers should avoid doing, is exactly what they're allowing to happen. And I said to myself, this is going to be a long night. I said it on Dreamerspro Max. The people that were there, they'll tell you. Candace and them will tell you. I said this is going to be a long night because PG didn't get off to a good start. I was also worried. Let me publicly say it for the people that were on Dreamerspro Max. They'll tell you. I was worried. I'm not going to lie to you here. I was worried that the majority of their offense was coming from Terrence Mann. I was worried about that. Y'all know why I was worried? Because I had the fear. I said, if Terrence Mann is scoring all of these points, I think he had 14 points or something like that in the first half. I said, I had the fear that he wouldn't be able to keep it up. That was my number one fear. Y'all remember what Bojan Bogdanovic did in game 5 in Utah? I think he hit like 5 3-pointers in the first half. He didn't finish that game with 40. I don't even think he finished that game with 30. So I was like, what if he cools off? What's the likelihood of him still continuing to be hot? And I said, this is going to hurt Paul George and these other guys, because Reggie Jackson hadn't established a rhythm. Paul George really wasn't in a rhythm in the first half. So I was very afraid. I said, PG only had 14 points in the first half. Reggie Jackson, Mr. June himself. I said it in the last slide. Let me apologize to him again. Reggie Jackson, I am wrong. If you ever see this live, if you ever watch a Dreamerspro video, I was wrong about you. I was wrong. I admit it now. I was wrong. We did a video about 4 or 5 days ago saying, well, I would never question Ty Lue again. I'm never going to question Ty Lue. Although last night I also had my doubts. I'm never going to question Ty Lue again. And Reggie Jackson, I was wrong. I was wrong. I'm saying it publicly. I have no problem in it. I was wrong. But in that first half, Reggie Jackson, Marcus Morris Sr., or Nicholas Batum, none of these guys had even scored 10 points. None of these guys even scored 10 points. And I was like, what's going to happen in the second half? Because I'm like, what is the likelihood of Terrence Mann staying hot? Terrence Mann, before last night, had never scored 30 points in his career. This is one of the reasons why this game was the most incredible game I have ever seen, given the circumstances. This guy never scored 30 in his life. Thanks for that, Ryan. He's never scored 30 points in his life. So it's not like as if, okay, he's done it before. So it's going to happen. I've never seen it. So I was worried because I'm like, this guy's never done it before. Then we go into the third quarter because boy, was I wrong. Then we go into the third quarter. And what I witnessed in that third quarter, guys, let me tell you something. To this moment of us doing this live, I literally am still in disbelief. I just can't believe what I saw. I just can't believe what I saw in that third quarter. So think about this. The Clippers go into the third quarter and they get down by 25 points in the third. Now, let's just be honest. Come on, y'all. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. For the people that are in the comment section, let's just be honest. We got how many people we got in here? 650 people. For the people that are in the comment section, let's just be honest. How many of y'all were nervous? I'm not going to lie to you. I was nervous. I was in Dreamerspro Max. I didn't know what to type. Some people on Dreamerspro Max is like, it's going to be good. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. And I said to myself, I said, well, let's see if they have another run in them. I think that's what I said to myself, or I said in my head, because I did not feel confident. Because I said, can this team do it again? I said, there's no way they're going to be able to do it. Like, and I was just like, given the moment, you're down 25, you're without your best player. Kawhi Leonard is not coming out of the tunnel to suit up. I said, what are the chances that this team comes back? What are the chances? And you saw the Utah Jazz with their usual front running selves. Saw Jordan Clarkson, Donovan Mitchell. And throughout the game, I was trying to understand, is Donovan Mitchell, is he hurt or not? Because either he was playing off of a lot of adrenaline, which could be part of it, because at one point he was Donovan Mitchell was splashing threes from the parking lot. And I was like, is this guy injured or is he not? And then Mark Jackson was roasting the like, yo. So he's like, this guy has the perfect excuse. When he plays well, he's a hero. When he plays bad, he's injured. He's like, bro, cut it out. Everybody's injured. What do you talk? Who's the team in the NBA right now that has a completely healthy roster? For God's sakes, Kawhi Leonard is not even playing. So what are we talking about here? Donovan Mitchell catches fire. And I said to myself, I said, like, what are they going to do now? But I did know one thing. I knew that the Clippers were a mentally stronger team. I knew that. That I had 100% confidence in. Mr. Ryan said, I've been looking like the man when I walk through and be like, man, I was there when he make it. I hear you. Hey, Max, appreciate that. Ryan, appreciate that. So, with 6 minutes left in the third, with 6 minutes left in the third quarter, the Clippers were down 19 points. Think about this. They were down 19 points. Then the miracle began. The miracle started to unfold. It was like witnessing a miracle take place. Literally. You're watching the game, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. In that third quarter, let's think about just think about what I'm about to say. In that third quarter, Terrence Mann turns into the man. Mark Jackson was like, he's a hand down, man down. He was like, hand down, man up. I was like, this dude scored 20 points in the third quarter. And I'm like, he was hitting those threes. When they cut it to 75-90, I was like, is this happening? I was sitting here and I'm like, I was on my computer watching the game and I was speechless. I couldn't believe it. Then Mr. June started to get hot. Reggie Jackson And then he scores 14 points in the third. Kawhi going down is equal to Utah's whole starting squad minus Mitchell. No excuses. We need. I don't want to hear nothing about no Mike Conley, please. Okay, I don't want to hear anything about it. The Clippers were without. Thank you for that. They were without their best player. Please don't even start. Nobody has energy for excuse making. Take it on the chin, please. Because if the Clippers lost, nobody would have said, "Oh well, they didn't have Kawhi." They would have said they lost. So back to what I was saying. Then Reggie Jackson, he scores 14 points, and Reggie Jackson and Terrence Mann combined for 34 points in that fourth quarter, and the Clippers outscored the Jazz 41-22 points in the third. And I was like, somebody hold me, because this can't even be real. Let me see what he said. Tori, he may not come exactly when you call, but he's always on time. But I haven't even gotten to the fourth. And I was like, I know you guys are watching the game and y'all were like in complete disbelief. You must have been in complete disbelief watching that game. Let me see, Max. Clippers are going to beat the... Oh, don't worry. I'm going to get to it. Thanks for that, Max. Then we go into the fourth quarter. And I think the Clippers were still down, if I'm not mistaken. If I go and check, I think the Clippers finished... Yeah, they were down 3 points. It was 94-91. The Clippers were still down. Then they go into the fourth quarter. And what happens in the fourth quarter? By that time, the momentum had totally shifted. And the Utah Jazz were turning into exactly who we all thought they were all along. They were front runners. Because let me tell you something. The ridicule that the Clippers took last year in that bubble of blowing a 3-1 lead, being up 3-1, this choke job is worse than that. I don't care what anybody says. This one right here was worse than that. You know why? Because the Clippers did not have their best player for the remainder of the series. There's no excuse to lose that series. You're up 25 points in the third. 25 points. And you still lose? No. So we go into the fourth quarter. Then it's like the Clippers were scoring by committee. It was like they were taking turns. Then Paul George and Patrick Beverley, they come into the game. And Paul George, playoff P, turns up and scores 10 points in the fourth. And that was impressive. But the one that was even more impressive was Patrick Beverley. I don't even think, I think this might have been the first time Patrick Beverley scored more than 10 points this entire series. Patrick Beverley comes into the game and scores 11 points in the third quarter and hits 3 out of 3 3-point shots. And I was like, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. He was taking shots. I was looking at him. I'm like, is this shot about to go in? And you look and it switches and you're like, yo, this is unbelievable. I think even the Utah Jazz were like, yo, is this happening? Rudy Gobert, we were joking about it in the comments. At one point, Rudy Gobert at one point was like, yo, get me out of this place. He went to the rim. He was like holding his jaw. He was like, yo, these dudes, they dunking on me, slapping me, kicking me, punching me, elbowing. Get me out of this game. These people are crazy. Rudy Gobert looked like he didn't even want to be on the court anymore. He's like, yo, these dudes is elbowing me. They drop kicking me, like doing all kind of stuff. He was like holding. He was like, I'm like, yo, bro, you know they still got another quarter, right? You know they still going to be putting the mitts on you for another 12 minutes, right? Rudy Gobert looked like he wanted no part of the Clippers because they were coming from everywhere. So we go into that fourth, and then Patrick Beverley and these guys start doing that. And in the fourth quarter, the Clippers again outscored the Jazz 40-25 points in the fourth. And I was like, this is the most magical. Marco and I started talking because I don't think Marco saw the full game. Marco is like, he's like, I saw the game. I don't understand. These guys were down by 20 points. and then they lost and they beat them by like 10 points. He's like, how the hell did that happen? I was like, I don't even understand how that happened. Mike, I owe everyone an apology. Yeah, Mike was there too. Mike, I see you. Crypto, I see you. I owe an apology in the Discord chat for saying Clippers are heading to Cancun. Crypto, Mike, exactly. Thank you guys for man, Mike. Yo, it was looking bleak. It was looking bleak. So Marco's like, how the hell did that happen? And I said to him, you know what? To be honest with you, I don't even know how it happened because I'm trying to make sense of it. Let me see, Phil, man. Utah was all talk while they led. Sure looked like ready to go home after. Let me tell you something. Royce O'Neal and all of these guys, pop locking and crip walking and all that stuff on the court. They were sure talking a lot when they were leading. The minute they went down, these dudes started looking at their ankles, grabbing their elbows, grabbing their shit. It's like, yo, this is what Mark Jackson was saying. If you're injured, you're injured. If you're healthy, you're healthy. It can't be that you're injured and you feel fine, your ankle feels great when you're hitting a three from 30 points out, 30 feet out. Then the minute you miss a shot, oh, he's not moving. And he was making fun of Mike Green. He was like, yeah, he's not moving right. He's like, yeah. Look at the way he's running up and down the court. Yeah, he really doesn't look right. Something really looks off. He was trolling him. He's like, what are you talking about? He doesn't look. How the hell? So how is he supposed to run? How is he supposed to run? Let me see. Lateem. Notice how Nick Wrong and Wiles and Broussard pretend like they haven't been hating on the Clippers all year. Stephen A will do this. Stephen A has bigger problems than the Clippers right now. There is somebody on the internet with a bowl, not even a bowl, with a pot of mama's cooking. You ever seen them big spoons that they be using to feed? Like them big spoons? There's somebody chasing Stephen A. Smith with a bowl, with a pot of mama's cooking right now. Trust me, the Clippers are the least of his problems. There is somebody that's on you know what. So the Clippers are the last thing that Stephen A. Smith needs to worry about. He already got somebody looking for him right now on the internet. So I'm not even worried about that. There's somebody on the hunt for Stephen A. Every time I see Stephen A. Smith, his hairline just keeps going further and further back because every time he serve up a spoon, like a little inch just goes off of his hairline. So trust me, the Clippers are the least of his worries right now. That's the least of his worries. So what I was saying, back to Max Kellerman. These were the dudes that was laughing at the yo. Hold up, hold up. I gotta balance myself for this. So hold up. I gotta let it hit me. Hold up. So hold up. Hold up. So this is the Clippers. That was dodging teams. That was mentally weak and all of these. Everybody picked against them. Shannon Sharp. I think Shannon Sharp must owe Skip Bayless like 100 crates right now of Mountain Dew. Shannon Sharp picked after game 2. Shannon Sharp said the Clippers were going to lose in 5. Then it was going to lose in 6. Then he was going to lose in 7. I don't know if the Clippers be doing this to people on purpose. Clippers been battle tested more than any team. They win. Oh, don't trust me. I'm going to get to that. Thank you so much for that, for sure. So they go into that fourth quarter, and they just completely annihilate the Utah Jazz. And the Jazz were fighting back, but the Clippers said it's just not going to happen. And at a certain point, when Patrick Beverley was hitting those threes, I just said to myself, I said, this is meant to happen. And they were doing all of this with Kawhi Leonard on the bench. Yep. Deuce Dawn just said it. Remember, we'll make them quit. Well, somebody was screaming no mas, and it didn't look like the Clippers to me. Sure looked like the Jazz quit. And some people feel like I'm piling on. I'm not piling on. Is that when you constantly disrespect the team, this was going to happen. I said this yesterday. I said for whatever reason, the Orlando bubble, everybody got to go home except the Clippers. The Jazz got to go home. The Nuggets got to go home. Everybody got to go home, but the Clippers, they got to stay in the bubble. No, they got to stay. They're the one. No. We're still trying to psychoanalyze their players. What's Paul George thinking? Today he changed up his braids. Does it mean that he's feeling less confident in himself? I noticed the way Paul George walked into the arena. His shirt looked a little bit tighter. Is he getting tight? Is he afraid? Is something wrong? Look at Kawhi Leonard. I saw him smile, but it wasn't a smile. It was a smirk. And usually he doesn't smirk. Does that mean he's in discomfort? Wait a minute. I saw him on the phone. They sat there and they analyzed the Clippers all season long, and they were all wrong. Now what are they going to do? They're going to pick the Suns. And then when you get to the this is going to happen. This is going to happen on Monday. When the Clippers go into round 1, guess what they're going to say? Round 3. You know what? Paul George, he's definitely taking the next step. He's shown me that he can take a team. But now you got to show me if you can deliver when it really, 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 really matters. Somebody said Montrezl Harrell is feeling dumb as hell. How can you not feel dumb as hell? You went from being the 6th man of the year to the dude that was unloading the bags off and on the bus. Now, some people feel like I'm hating. I'm like, yo, listen. Sometimes when you're in a good situation, the best thing you can do is just not mess it up. Sometimes the grass ain't always greener on the other side. It's not always greener on the other side. Start appreciating the situations you're in. It may not be perfect, but when you feel like, oh, okay, this and this and this, okay, go across the street. It looks beautiful over there, but you forgetting you thought you was part of the crew. You're not part of the crew, son. You could have been with the Clippers, celebrate, and they would have kept you. Now, credit to Ty Lue. He would have probably benched Montrezl Harrell, but you were in a good situation. People hate the Clips because Kawhi didn't run up props. What is it? People hate the Clips because Kawhi didn't run to prop up LeBron's final streak. PG is top. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't really want to focus on the Lakers and all that because I don't want to look like I'm bashing them. This is not really about them right now. I want to talk about the Clippers and what happened yesterday because I don't want to make it seem like we're going at the Lakers and all that. I'm just not trying to do that. But towards the end of the game, it was an emotional moment, even for me. As I said, I have not been following the Clippers all this time. I've been a type of sports fan that follows teams. I know a lot of people that follow the Clippers. I think there are people also from LA. Now, there's some people obviously not from LA that follow, but I usually follow players. So I'm just a different type of fan in that way. But watching a team kind of have letdown for over 50 years and then see them finally break through, it was a special moment. And I heard the Utah Jazz coach was feeling the type of way because Ty Lue was substituting the players out of the game individually, one by one. Who cares? You're going to get on a plane anyway. Why should I care what the loser feels? When it was in Utah and dudes was cussing him out and say, I didn't see, did the Utah Jazz coach look sad that the Clippers were being cussed out? No. So who cares what he thought? They lost anyway. Who cares? So it was a special night for me. And I said to myself, how can you not root for a team that's this resilient? Now to talk about the Utah Jazz. The Jazz proved exactly who I thought they were. They proved to me exactly who I thought they were. A bunch of front-running chokers. That's all they were. And I'll never forget what Donovan Mitchell said in game 1. I will never forget it. He said, they just come off a 7-game series. If you stick it to them, they're going to choke. No. They're going to, what has he said? They're going to not want to fight or something like that. They're going to give up. I never forgot that. And I'm sure the Clippers players heard that. And they said, oh, so you feel like we're going to quit? Okay, we'll show you. This is one of the biggest choke jobs you're ever going to see out there. This is worse than the Clippers blowing that 3-1 lead to the Denver Nuggets. I don't care what. This is worse. This was the greatest comeback I have ever seen. The greatest. Given the circumstances, given the fact that people are calling Paul George Pandemic P and all of that stuff, their best player gets injured and they come back and beat the number 1 seed who everybody picked to win. This is the greatest comeback I've ever seen. Greatest. Not when your best player is not even there. And I got to give credit to Ty Lue. First of all, we got to give credit to Ty Lue. You got to stand up and clap for Ty Lue, man. Y'all got to clap for Ty Lue. Y'all got to clap for Ty Lue because Ty Lue proved that ultimately he knew what the hell he was doing. If y'all look at the different combination of players that he played yesterday, y'all realize Ty Lue was making adjustments in real time. He played Zubac, he played Rondo, he played Terrence Mann, he played what's his name? Luke Kennard. He played so many players until he found the right combination of guys that ultimately brought the game. That's the coach. The players you see on the court are a decision by the coach, and you got to give this guy his credit. You got to give him his credit. He's a brilliant coach. He's a brilliant, brilliant coach. He's mentally tough. He does not quit. He doesn't get flustered under pressurized situations. It's something that I believe is rubbing off on his team. He's very good at picking a coaching staff with Chauncey Billups, Delonte West, all of these guys. You got to give him some credit. It's one of the reasons that Lawrence Frank and Steve Ballmer felt like they got the best coach out there. You got to give credit to Lawrence Frank, the president of basketball operations. He's the one that went out there and tried to get Marcus Morris Sr. He's the one out there that tried to get DeMarcus Cousins, to get Rajon Rondo, to get Nicholas Batum. It was him, the president of basketball operations. Jerry West, you got to give some credit to Jerry West, the architect, one of the greatest team builders in there. None of this is possible without these players. You got to give a lot of credit to Steve Ballmer, to being an owner that actually cares, that shows up, doesn't intrude, doesn't talk a lot. You don't see him in the newspapers. You don't see him send out tweets and twats and whatever you want to call it. He just goes there, supports his team. He's always there. Steve Ballmer is worth $72 billion. His net worth is more than what the NBA generates annually as a league. He's wealthy enough to buy all of the teams in the league. And he's up there like a fan, supporting, cheering his team on. You got to give this guy credit. You have to. You also have to give him credit for knowing when to cut ties with Doc Rivers. Who just left that comment? You brought it to my mind. Doc Rivers tried to hate on Tyler by saying he was right there. Exactly. Yeah, thank you for that, Lee Max. You got to give him credit because he had the mind, he had the presence of mind to say, wait a minute, Doc Rivers is not the right coach for this team. You got to give these guys credit. It was ultimately the executive's decision. We got to get rid of Doc. Let's get Ty Lue in this thing. None of this is possible without these guys. They had Donald Sterling and all of these guys. You're bringing a fresh owner that wants to win, that wants to do everything. This is the result that you have. This is the reason why people make organizations. It's not magic. It's people. Obviously, you need some luck. That plays a role. But guess what? In a situation like this, the Clippers got unlucky. So they had to compensate for the loss of Kawhi Leonard. Remember, their best player got injured. Most teams would have given up. Most people would have given up. Most people will mail it in. They'll say, but how can we win? How can we win? Look at the circumstances that we're facing. How do we still get up and come in here and beat this team when everyone is picking against us? So you got to give credit to these guys. You got to give credit to them. Paul George. Enough of the Paul George slander. Throughout this entire series, you have not one time heard Paul George be mentioned as one of the best players in the world. You've not heard him mention Deuce to Don. Jerry West was huge for the team. Absolutely. Thanks for that, Deuce to Don. Yeah, he's been huge. Let's talk about Paul George. No one has mentioned Paul George. It's either been Kawhi Leonard or Donovan Mitchell. No one talks about Paul George. Paul George has been huge for this team. The Clippers don't make it to the Western Conference Finals without Paul George. That's with or without Kawhi. Kawhi Leonard does not get this far without Paul George and vice versa. But Kawhi Leonard went down 2 games ago. If Paul George did not step up, this team does not advance. We got to stop ruining this guy's reputation. He's a hell of a player. He's a hell of a player. You can't sit up there and shower Donovan Mitchell with all of that praise, but then Paul George, somebody that actually shows up, you want to hate on him. Donovan Mitchell was part of this is back-to-back years of choking away a series. Paul George showed you that you can fail and come back and be better. I'm happy for the guy. You heard them chanting MVP. He deserves it. What are we going to wait till the guy retires? But you were bashing PG. No, I was not. Okay, I've been looking for you. No, I was not bashing PG. I was calling him out. I've been bashing PG. There you go. Let me just address this guy quickly. I've been bashing PG when? We've been covering the Clippers for 2 years. I've been supporting Paul George all through last year. People were telling us, don't trust Paul George. Don't trust Paul George. Don't trust Paul George. And I said, no, Paul George is a good player. He's a good player. He's a good player. They said, don't trust Paul George. They went into the playoffs. He didn't play well. He came back this year. I supported him all season long. Then it got to a point where I said, man, you got to show up. You got to show me something. I've been supporting you for 2 years. Then you get one bandwagon that sees one video on the channel of 900 videos and decides, you know what? You've been bashing Paul George. No, you just got to the party. We've been here. Where have you been? I've been supporting this guy. So you want to tell me, if you're a parent, obviously I'm not equating Paul George to being my parent, but if you have somebody you support and they don't deliver, you can't call them out and say, hey man, what's going on? What's going on? You can't do that. No. Nice try. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Thank God the people that have been on this channel long enough know what's up. It's not going to work. Try it on another channel. It's not going to work. Honest people know. You see them talking in the comment section. It's not going to work. I didn't say they should trade him. I said, should they consider trading him? It's not going to work. You're running into an educated brother. Don't try it with me. I know what I said. You're not going to tell me what I said. Just wanted to say that. And I've called out my favorite player. Thank you, dudes, for that. I've called out Kawhi Leonard. So what? I hate Kawhi Leonard too? Please, let's not do that. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Moving forward to the next round. Few things I want to say. This could just be my heart. This could just be passion. This could just be wishful thinking. This could just be whatever. I got a few thoughts I want to say. First thing, I feel very good about the Clippers' chances to face the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference Finals. I want to say it now. I feel very positive about the Clippers' chances to face the Western Conference, to face these guys in the Western, and I'll tell you why. Number one, we finally get to see a matchup between Chris Paul and Rajon Rondo. That's the first thing. Secondly, we're going to see Devin Booker versus Paul George. Now, if you guys remember, Devin Booker and Paul George kind of have a history. I've also noticed that Paul George has played extremely well against the Phoenix Suns all throughout this season. So I think we are going to be in for a treat. I think the Clippers are good enough. This is just my personal opinion. I'm going to say it here first. We're going to do a preview, but it's just my personal opinion. I think they're good enough to get at least one game in Utah. That's my first thing. My second thing is I think the Clippers are going to beat this team, the Phoenix Suns. I absolutely 100% believe it. And my third feeling I want to say is this. I think Kawhi Leonard is coming back. Let me drop that bombshell right now. I think Kawhi Leonard is coming back. I'm going to say it right now. I got the feeling that Kawhi Leonard is coming back. And I'll tell you why. Number one, people have been telling me this guy, for somebody that's supposed to be, that had an ACL, an ACL tear. Well, if that's the case, it's been over 48 hours now, 72 hours. Why doesn't he just do surgery? That's number one. Number two, I've been hearing, I saw a video. Somebody sent it to us on Instagram. Again, if you guys know, we're also on Instagram, Dreamerspro on Instagram. You guys can follow us there on Instagram as well. Somebody sent us a video of Kawhi Leonard in the background, not in the background, in the locker room when his team was celebrating. At first, he was sitting down. Then he stood up and he was there clapping. And I said, well, wait a minute. Somebody that just tore their ACL, I don't think you'd be standing up. You don't want to be putting any pressure on it. So I personally believe, hey, thanks for that. We just saw somebody just followed us. I personally believe that Kawhi Leonard is going to come back. And I think that, thank you guys for following us on Instagram. Thank you guys. Yeah, make sure you guys go follow us on Instagram. I'm seeing you guys coming now. I also believe that he will come back. I think the Clippers are going to be able to steal at least one of those games in Phoenix. And I think that this is just my estimation. I think Kawhi Leonard could come back as early as game 3 or game 4. This is just my personal opinion. If he comes back on game 3 or game 4, thanks for that, Ali. Italo, thanks for that. I'm seeing you guys. Guzman, Italo Guzman. I'm seeing you guys coming. So if you sign up, I'm going to shout you guys out. Just keep coming through. I'm seeing you guys. Crackbone, I see you. Thank you for following us on Instagram. I see you guys. As you're coming out, shout you out. Butler, Lore Fields, I see you. Thank you guys. Appreciate that for signing up. Marco, maybe Marco will post a link to our Instagram in the comment section if he can. He can just post a link in the comment section there. So I think he's going to come back game 3. Gio, thanks for that. I think he's going to come back in game 3. And if he does come back in game 3, what that does is you essentially give this guy close to 2 weeks off. He didn't play all of this week. I see you guys there. Thank you guys for joining. M7. If he doesn't come back this week, then that means that you're going to give him an extended period of time. Game 1 is on Sunday. Game 2 is on Tuesday. So game 3, you're probably looking at him coming back next week, Thursday. So you're going to give him about 2 weeks to rest. Thanks you guys for calling. Reaxa, thank you guys for following. I see you guys. Appreciate that. So he's possibly, Mena, thank you. See you. Thank you. Even if Kawhi can't explode, his mid-range. No, I think he's going to come back, but I think they're going to bring him back next week, Thursday. So if he doesn't come back next week, Thursday, he's definitely, if he doesn't come back for game 3, he'll definitely come back for game 4. And I definitely think by the time he does come back, the Clippers are going to be up 2-1 in that series. This is just my opinion. I could be absolutely wrong, but this is what I 100% believe. There's somebody left a comment. Yeah, okay, yeah, I responded to that. Jay McCarthy, yeah, I responded to that. Yeah. So this is my thought. And I think this is my final thought, and we'll get into the next one. I think the Clippers, this may be the year that they make it to the finals. And if they somehow find themselves in the finals and Kawhi Leonard comes back, Jeffrey Thompson, thank you. I see you. It's going to be one of the most incredible stories or roller coasters you'll ever see in sports. It's going to be incredible. But I definitely think he's going to come back. Now, we're going to find out if it's going to be the Clippers or Nets. Obviously, I'm being a bit presumptuous. We're going to see tonight between the Nets and who is it, the Bucks? We'll see. But that's what I believe is going to happen. Shanoa, hey, I see you guys. Thank you guys for joining. I'm seeing so many of you. I think this is the most followers we're picking up on Instagram ever. We never really are good on, we're not really good on Instagram. So it's something we're definitely going to do. If you guys message us on Instagram, we definitely see your messages there. So you can do that. If you guys got any questions, we'll try to get to them. Exactly. Somebody made a good point. But ACL tears would make your knee swell and you couldn't be able to stand without crutches. That's a very good point. Thank you for that. Capitan, whatever it is. Thank you. That's a good point you make. That's a very good point. That's a good point. But I think that MacDub, I see you. Thank you for signing up. So I think the longer you hold him out, Mark Law, I see you. What's good, Mark Law? I see you. The better it is. If the Clippers can extend that series and try to get some good lead, then extend it out. The longer, the more time you give him, the more he heals. But I ultimately think he will come back. And I think these guys are still alive. King Me, I see you. I think Sam Hooker, I see you. What's good? YPC, I see you. RP. Peyton Ergson, I see you. MacDub, what's good? I see all of you guys. Appreciate you guys for signing up. We definitely appreciate you guys. So before I close, let me say this. If you guys want a live chat, I keep saying it. If you guys want a live chat for round 3, here we are now in the Western Conference Finals, make sure you guys go ahead and sign up to Dreamerspro Max. Marco is pinned out to the top of the comment section. It's only $7 a month. So make sure you guys go and sign up. I'm sure you guys are going to definitely want to be a part of these live chats. It's at the top of the thing. I also want to give you guys a great shout out and a congratulations. It's a hell of a series. Thank you, MD Dog. Appreciate that. So it was definitely a lot of fun. Thank you guys for being a part of this live. Tomorrow is going to be tomorrow. Oh, by the way, this weekend is Marco and I's birthday. So my birthday is tomorrow. June 20th. Marco's birthday is on June 21st. So tomorrow, we may do a live or we may do a video for a preview, but Sunday we'll definitely be back. So we're definitely going to do that for you guys. So I appreciate that, man. And hey, Bolo, Bolo, thanks for following us. And we really appreciate that. But thank you guys, man. Great win, great win. And thank you guys for being a part of this live. We really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for the birthday wishes. We really appreciate that. And we'll definitely catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy. Be cool. Peace. Peace.